Wake up, it's a beautiful morning. Oh, Chris Evans on your radio.
My rants.
Welcome back to another video by myself, Marriage YouTube Now Got. Today, we are carrying on the My View On series as we do, 4th day in a row. Yesterday we did My View On Men's Mental Health. If you haven't seen the video, go and watch it, and I'm sorry about the video corrupting, but the audio's still there, so give it a watch and a listen. This today, if you've seen the title, you know who it is. This is my view on Boris Johnson. Now, if any of you that don't know who Boris Johnson is, you don't know this country very well. He is currently the Prime Minister under the Conservative Party, and he has been under fire recently. So we're going to be talking about what he's done for the coronavirus fight, hard Brexit, and his past. This is my view on Boris Johnson. Like and subscribe. Now, we're going to cast our rods and mind back to 2002, and I think I've caught the biggest catch of the day. Whoa! Oh, 1 minute. Oh, look at that. That is a chunky bit of casual racism in 2002, innit? Yes, Boris Johnson was a racist, and he still is. Shocker. Basically, back in 2002, he conveyed the casual racism in a column in the newspaper, calling non-white people to have watermelon smiles and called them pickaninnies. Now, to be honest, I just think it's a bit shocking because, no, it's not even shocking, it's just abysmal from someone who had power back then. He wasn't a Prime Minister at the time, it was Tony Blair. But to say that, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And then in the same year, he talked about the problem with Africa, because Africa at the time was still facing famine and they were still facing a lot of turmoil with droughts and everything. He said the problem with Africa is that Britain is still not in charge. That is ridiculous, to be honest, because we enslaved, as a country, we basically made the African people slave to get cacao, diamonds, stuff like that, you know what I mean? Child labour goes in that country, and half the stuff that comes over, we use it for day-to-day life. If it's fruit or veg, if it's makeup, if it's clothes, if it's anything which is resourceful for this country, we use it. So how can someone say that with so much power? And then a couple of years ago he mentioned about Muslim women being called letterboxes. Why would you say that? You're a madman. To be honest, when it comes to casual racism, Boris Johnson is a sucker to have his opinion in. He's like a mosquito when he sees some blood. He just wants to grab on it and, you know, take every last ounce of it. So that was the casual racism bit. I hope it really didn't offend any of you. I hope it didn't offend anyone. But let's carry on. Let's just get that rod again and let's cast it away now to 2020. 2020 has been a dark time. 2020 has been a mad time. So basically, all I want to do now is put my blazer on, because we're getting serious. We are getting serious. And I just want to hold a couple of seconds to remember all the people that have died from coronavirus. Right. Basically, this year has been a weird one. We haven't experienced it in his lifetime. Back in January, hard Brexit happened. Boris got what he wanted, and it was Brexit. But if you think about it, in April 2016, he was all for the EU. So why did he want Brexit? Because he was manipulated. With the coronavirus, if you put anyone in charge, they wouldn't have done a better job. If you put Barry, the local postman from Ipswich, on Prime Minister, he would crack under pressure. Gladys from Inverness as a Prime Minister, she would crack under pressure. Stephanie from North London, she would crack under pressure. Bill, the builder, he would crack under pressure. So Boris has done a very good job in the circumstances that has been. You know, no one can't say, oh, I could have done a better job. Could you? Could you though? I don't think you could. For a man who has delivered on so much, he has failed on a lot. The likes on, he failed on testing, reaching the numbers. He failed on the adequate amount of PPE to the care home staff and the NHS and to the general public. He failed on airport checks to get the transport system back up in the air. He failed on herd immunity, which basically he didn't care. He failed to stop mass gatherings, and that's not down to him. That's down more to the general public. The public who, you know, should act upon what he's trying to do. You know, we can cut him some slack and do this for him, you know what I mean? And he just failed on lockdown. He started it too late and he's starting to ease it too early. And in result of that, 62,000 deaths and counting. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. 62,000 innocent lives and more have been took due to this influenza. And it's all down to Boris Johnson and the Muppets in power. And it's ridiculous what he's done. And if we cast our minds a bit further now to more recent times, and the 7th of July 2020, we all may have people, family members, mates who have people in care homes. Sadly, 20,000 deaths have been in care homes as a result of coronavirus. But why? Why, Boris? Why? Oh wait, because you haven't given the care homes the adequate amount of PPE equipment. They have been working with not the adequate PPE equipment. I've seen fucking fishmongers in Morrison's with fucking visors, and they're dealing with fish. People in care homes are the most vulnerable to the coronavirus, and you don't have the solemn duty to act upon your promise to give the adequate PPE equipment to the people that need it. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's what gets me, because there's families have lost people to coronavirus now because of your slip up, and you have the balls, the hogwash to accuse them and to blame them of causing the coronavirus. Not causing, blaming the care staff to protect the most vulnerable. You don't have the cheek. You don't know what it's like for those people in care homes. You don't know what it's like. You do not know. They're on fucking minimum wage for a start. All you politicians get 80 grand a week. All you politicians get 80 grand not 80 grand a week, 80 grand a year. They get minimum wage. They go to work day on day to care for the people most vulnerable to this virus, and then at the same time protecting themselves. You have slipped under pressure there, Boris. Really have slipped under pressure. For a person who has survived coronavirus, for a person who almost died from the virus, you would know what the symptoms are like. You would know the experience you had to go through. And you would at least act upon your solemn duty to at least put some of those justifications and ramifications into the plans for coronavirus and how to fight it. But no, Boris. You have been puppeteered. You've just been a ventriloquist dummy. And that's why they call me Myran's YouTube. Well, basically, we're going to say my view on Boris Johnson. We've given the facts, we've given the stats. What's my view on him? If you had to have a pint with him, you could have a good laugh with him. He's like the uncle you've never had, but when it comes to politics, he's like a bigot, basically. So, on personality-wise, 10 out of 10. If it comes to politics, 4 out of 10. And when it comes to delivering stuff he promises, 0 out of 10. But I feel bad for him. He's like the Jekyll and Hyde. One minute he's a hero, next minute everyone's wanting him to resign. So how could you win? But Boris, you know what? My opinion on you is that you've done good, but you've done bad. You're like Kingsmill 50/50. You've got the sweet white bread. You know, it tastes nice when you put some Lurpak on it. But the other half, the brown wholemeal bread, full of fibre, maybe horrible to people if they don't like it. That's what it's like. But thank you for watching, people. I know I've been a bit angry, but you know, my frustrations are as much as yours. If you like the video, like and subscribe, and it's been Maran's YouTube, over and out.